Dillon Brooks had no level of respect for LeBron and the Lakers and for the media as well. And the Memphis Grizzlies said, good, Dillon. Good, Ja. You don't have to talk to the media when you lose, and we won't find you. Just do whatever you want. Do how you please. So Dillon Brooks' trash-talking tour continued in the first round against LeBron James and the Lakers. This dude, he wasn't just talking noise to LeBron this season. We know that the dude has been talking trash to all the top players. Kevin Durant, James Harden, got into it with Joel Embiid, who's 7'2", 300 pounds. Got into a fight with Donovan Mitchell. Trash-talking Steph, Clay.
Impressive showing tonight.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. You should give the mic to Draymond. Make him talk about me.
What was that?
Make him keep talking about me so I can play.
A lot of people said that Draymond put Dillon Brooks back in his place, but I believe the Lakers put the Grizzlies back in their place. Not just Dillon Brooks, because this is not Dillon Brooks' fault. They put the Grizzlies back in their place after beating them by 40 in 6 games in a convincing fashion. Now, when it comes to Dillon Brooks, this narrative reminds me of a narrative from the Old Testament when you had the king of Syria come to the king of Israel, and he told the king of Israel that I won't leave enough dust in Samaria for my men to hold in their hands. And the king of Israel answered and said, one who puts on his armor should not boast like one who takes it off. You haven't won the war yet. Dillon Brooks, one who puts on his jersey should not boast like one who takes it off. You didn't win the series. You won one game, and then you just started talking trash like the series was over. Fast forward, the Memphis Grizzlies say that they won't bring Dillon Brooks back under any circumstances. This is a guy who averaged, 10 points this playoffs, 3-3, low 30s, like mid-high, like 37% from the field during the playoffs. He didn't have a good showing in the playoffs. And I know Dillon Brooks has been asking the Grizzlies, like, I want a bigger role. I want to be the third option at least, because we know he can't be the first or the second. He can't be the third, to be honest, with Triple J there. So now the Memphis Grizzlies won't bring him back under any circumstances. This is the first time in NBA Twitter history that I read words like that. And Dillon Brooks' career could be over. I don't think it is. This is a guy who averaged 14, 3-3. If you're averaging 14 points in the NBA, you're good enough to stay in the league. You are. But boasting and thinking of yourself too highly came back to bite you in the end. But the Memphis Grizzlies are using Dillon Brooks as a scapegoat, and it's wrong. It is absolutely wrong to use Dillon Brooks as the scapegoat, saying, because you talk noise to LeBron, that's why we lost. If you would have just shut your mouth and just played ball, we would have been fine. But no, you want to yap. But the Grizzlies have been doing that since they beat the Warriors in the play-in game. Ever since they beat the Warriors in the play-in game, they have been talking cash money talk. And we've seen teams get humbled in the past who haven't achieved anything. They were talking noise like, yeah, we already won the championship, i.e. the Phoenix Suns last season.
Black alien! You was able to cigarette the game. Let's go, I'll do it. Let's start talking shit now. Stay humble now. Stay humble. Come on now, nigga, you was that home a year and a half ago. Now you want to pop off? Come on, don't do that. Now you want to talk off, nigga. That's that. Okay. All right, nigga. You was able to cigarette.
What's up, Cam? You accepted the speaker request, bro.
Damn right I did. We the number one team in the world, and you worried about the fucking Lakers. They the worst team in the West, and you worried about us.
Oh, you coming to pack us up? Hey, this is a recorded space, man. So what I hear you saying, Cam, is that you're not worried about LeBron and nobody hearing this.
That's fine. They can hear it, bro. That's cool, bro. We respect the Lakers. We respect every team in the NBA.
What's up, Cam?
And to channel a little Jimmy Johnson, the former Cowboy coach. How about them Mavericks? Wow. Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks are going to the Western Conference Finals.
Cameron Payne, not Dillon Brooks, but Devin Booker, just talking noise like they won a championship already. Every time they win, they're like, yeah, we're the best, basically. And you get mollywopped in Game 7 by Luka Dunn and company. Same thing happened to Dillon Brooks. Don't boast too quickly. that junk can come back in the end and bite you. And it came back in the end to bite Dillon Brooks. But he is clearly the scapegoat because the Memphis Grizzlies created this environment. And this environment was spearheaded by Ja Morant, talking noise every single game. But the tolerance threshold is extremely high for somebody like Ja, who's a top 10, top 12 player in the NBA. You can argue if he's a top 3 or top 5 point guard in the NBA. When you're that good, your tolerance threshold is extremely high. So Ja talks noise, Bane talks noise. Now everybody on the Grizzlies talks noise and they start dancing like this. And that's what we saw. And then you try to blame it on Dillon Brooks, saying, talking all this noise, when you created this environment for him to do so. And this is not Dillon Brooks' fault. The Grizzlies have bigger problems than Dillon Brooks. We know what they went through this season with Ja Morant and all the off-court nonsense that he was dealing with that affected the team in a bad way. And you can argue, hey, the Memphis Grizzlies actually look better without Ja Morant. Even though I don't think they are better without Ja, but sometimes they look better without Ja. But blaming this on Dillon Brooks, when you created this environment for Dillon Brooks to thrive in, a noise-talking environment, you gave that to him, and then you say, don't do that. And you try to blame it on him because you lost in 6 games to LeBron and the Lakers. Even though this team wasn't even ready to get past the Lakers, in my opinion. You get rid of Dillon Brooks, this team isn't any better. This team just got worse on defense, to be honest. I hate to say it, but they got worse on defense. Dillon Brooks is not a guy that you will expect to get 16, 18 a night. He's not. He's going to go out there and play as hard as he can. He does that every single night. Every night he goes out there and play hard. He takes on the toughest assignment, and then he takes on KD, Steph, LeBron. Then he doesn't make shots, and you say, you got to get rid of this dude. But he's giving all the effort on the defensive end. And it goes back to my point. You made this environment for Dillon Brooks to thrive in, a noise-talking environment. Memphis Grizzlies embraced it. The organization embraced it. Not just the coaching staff, the organization embraced it, playing whoop that trick at games. They embraced this identity, and Dillon Brooks took on that identity, and it came back to bite them in the end. So don't blame this on Dillon Brooks. Blame this on the Memphis Grizzlies creating an environment for Dillon Brooks to talk noise without any repercussions. You let them just do and say whatever they want. They don't have to go to the media after the games. Like, just these dudes lose the game. And they don't go talk to the media after. Are you serious? They don't go talk to the media? And you're fine with that? They don't get fined? Nothing happened. These players had too much control this past season, willing and able to do whatever they please, however they please. And then you get mad when they do it. Wow. Just try to use Dillon as the scapegoat when we know the issue this season was Ja Morant and a couple of injuries that you had as well. Dillon Brooks had no level of respect for LeBron and the Lakers and for the media as well. And the Memphis Grizzlies said, good, Dillon. Good, Ja. You don't have to talk to the media when you lose, and we won't find you. Just do whatever you want. Do how you please. And that's what you get. So this series that they lost against the Lakers, it wasn't Dillon Brooks' fault. It was the Memphis Grizzlies' fault as an organization, letting these young players do whatever they please. Whatever. It's crazy.